Stay upstairs. Another question. Go ahead.
Jeff, Brian Belansky from RacingWire.info. How frustrating is the first half of that race, looking at Kyle kind of clipping away at the field and not being able to get him and not getting those caution flags to be able to go in and work on the car?
Well, we saw in practice he was really strong. He obviously qualified real well. He runs well here. The Gibbs cars run well here. That wasn't any big surprise to me. And a lot changes here. I was just hoping we could stay on top of our adjustments. And I thought for the most part we did. We had a solid car all night long. I don't think we were ever worse than third all night long. So, that's why we came home second. And that's a great effort by us. And I think the frustrating part is that Kyle was really strong, and I don't know, they made an adjustment or something, and he went backwards, and we had an opportunity to beat him. I felt like he was really the guy to beat all night, and they were able to gather it back together and get back up there and win the race. They were the best car. And they just, except for that one, run towards the end.
Take one more question from the press box and then come back downstairs. Go ahead.
This is Jay Pennell with Front Stretch and All Left Turns. Jeff, on that final restart, do you think if you had taken the outside line, you would have been able to hold him off a little bit better, or was your car just not able to work up there?
Kyle was just unbelievable on the restarts. I mean, earlier in the, I followed him enough times earlier in the race to watch him run around the bottom on the inside, and I knew that if I gave him the inside, he was going to drive by me faster than he did on the outside. So I was struggling, on that last race. I mean, Kevin almost got by me too. Luckily, he raced me clean because I couldn't even stay down on the bottom in front of him. I just was real loose on that last restart, and an unfortunate sequence of cautions for us, that wasn't to our favor, and we finished second. That's bottom line.
Stay upstairs for another question. I think Nate Ryan has one. Go ahead, Nate.
Okay, Nate Ryan, USA Today. For both you guys, you and Jeff and Kevin, you guys both pitted around, I think, 155, where you had this weird caution where 19 cars got waved around the lead lap, and there were only 8 cars on the lead lap at that point. You guys had only pitted, I think, 15 laps earlier under green. Would you guys ever give any consideration to staying out rather than, because if one car stays out, then you don't get 19 cars back on the lead lap. Does that ever come into play there on strategy?
I mean, for me, it's, none of those cars were the cars that we were racing.
Talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah. I mean, they were. They were just, not in any consideration of what we needed to do strategy-wise. We needed to stay in the strategy with the 31, the 24, and the 18, because those are the cars that we raced all night. So, no.
I mean, I think there's 15 cars between. I was running second at the time. There were about 15 cars between me and Kyle. So when Kyle comes in here, I ask him that question because they could have possibly kept a lot of those guys, down. But I'm sure they're going to tell you they knew they were racing us, and we were going to come in regardless and get 4 tires. It was the right time, and we with only 8 cars on the lead lap, you think you're in pretty good shape to come back out towards the front, even though let all those cars back on the lead lap. It was a little bit of a crazy race tonight. We were really picking them off there, especially Kyle. Kyle was in another zone at that time, so you have to ask him.
Stay upstairs for one more question. Go ahead.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers, one for each. First for Kevin, if you can assess your team after 10 races, I know you're leading the points, but where you feel like you guys are at and where you need to go. And also for Jeff, last year you were strong early portion of the season, led points, kind of faded away a little bit. Where do you feel like your team is and how you can progress from this point on?
I think for us, it's 10 races. I mean, the last 10 is 10 races as well. So, you look at that and you say, well, we can lead the points after 10 races. But I think in order to get better, we got to get a little bit better on pit road. We got to be more consistent. When we make mistakes, we make big mistakes, and we can't do that. And we just got to keep pushing ahead. You can't just sit on your hands, and I don't think we're doing that. I think we're constantly, the R&D department is doing what they need to do to make things better, and we just got to keep pushing forward. I mean, the cars that we race in the first 10, hopefully they're no good for the last 10, and that you've progressed that far and you're ready to go.
Jeff?
I mean, for us, I think we're way ahead of where we were last year. I think because the chase format, we're approaching this season different than we ever have before. Last year we came out, we were consistent, we were running okay, we won a race at Texas, but I didn't think we were near dominant enough, leading enough laps, or diverse enough to run good at a lot of different types of tracks to compete for the championship. And I feel like that's the difference for us this year. Other than the win column, I feel like we're dominating races at times. We're leading laps pretty much everywhere we go. We're running up front. We're putting ourselves in contention to win races late in the races, and our pit crew's strong. Everything's going good, other than getting that win. So I'm extremely happy with the way things are going for us. I think we're a better team than we were this time last year.
Come back downstairs for questions. Any questions downstairs in the media center? Gary Graves has one right here.
Gary Graves, USA Today. Jeff, how surprised were you that this race didn't end with a green-white checkered finish, given the run that we've had this season?
Well, it basically was. I mean, it's if you look at it, those late cautions, more cautions came because of them. I don't know what happened, but it was 5 to go. So I mean, I guess I was a little bit surprised. I didn't want to see any more cautions. I can tell you that. I had enough of them there, and we had one too many, in my opinion. I think we could have held them off that second to last one, but I didn't want to see that last one, and I don't think I would have wanted to see another one. I would have been starting in the outside lane, and then I would have had Kevin on the inside, and I probably would have fell back another spot.
Any further questions? Right here. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, John Gunn, NASCAR Illustrated. Kevin, did you have some issues in the pits early in the race today?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what was going on?
Okay. Never saw. I couldn't tell you. I just know that the rear had trouble, but I don't know exactly what exactly it was.
Anything else for Kevin or Jeff? Okay, guys, congratulations on a nice run tonight. We'll see you at Darlington.